Hey guys, it is Finn here. That is of course FYN, and wow, it has been a full year of doing YouTube. On Sunday the 21st of October, which hopefully this video will be up by Saturday, maybe Sunday. I'm not too sure quite yet, because obviously studying with finals and you know, all of that stuff. But guys, it's been a full year of doing YouTube and I really have loved it. I've learned a lot from it and I can definitely see myself carrying on for quite a lot of time. Can't see myself ending in the near future. Now of course, ever since I reached that 100 subscriber goal a few months back, I have said that I do want to do a Q&A for 200, and 200 subscribers came recently, and I decided I might as well just wait for a year and do a Q&A, a question and answer, where I asked you guys questions and I will answer them. Now of course, I will maybe do another Q&A some other time, so if you want, you guys can already start dropping questions. But yeah, let's get straight into this Q&A. First question is age. Of course, I'm going to put the comments. Hopefully, if I do find them again, I will put the comments somewhere on the screen. But the first one is age. So how old am I? I am 18.
Are you serious?
I think when this question was answered, I was probably 17. But yeah, I'm now 18, which makes me legal to have alcohol or to drive in South Africa. Which yeah, is pretty cool, but I always think of myself my age because I'm a pretty short person. I'm 1.7 meters tall, or 5'7" feet, I think it is. So I mean, that's really short, and I always think to myself every time it's my birthday, I'm like, I wasn't that bad for a 17-year-old, but I'm really short for an 18-year-old now. But yeah, of course, I'm Messi's height. I am that tall, which I mean, hey, my height's not that bad. It means I can win 4 Ballon d'Ors. There are worse things in the world. And of course, it's always funny being 18 because of course I'm that kind of person who always has to have the ID with them. Say if I'm going out with a friend and we decide just to get a beer or two and we're going out somewhere, like the people working there never just ask for my ID. They straight up look at me with my baby face. And they don't even ask for my ID. They just look at me, they look at the alcohol, and they're just like, you know what to do. Come, give it to us. So yeah, that's always pretty embarrassing. Next question. What made me realize I love sports so much? So whoever's watching this for the first time, maybe this is the first video of mine you are watching. I do normally do football content, which of course, if you are new, please do subscribe if you do love that kind of football, soccer content. What made me realize I love sports so much? Well, I think it's probably my dad. My dad's always raised me in a house where he always watches different kinds of sports, whether it's rugby, golf, whatever it is. Yeah, so I've always been in a football watching family at least, and ever since I was young, I've always played. I mean, I've played pretty much every sport. Yeah, so it's just through playing that I've always loved it. When it comes to watching, I used to really love watching rugby, but I kind of grew out of that a tiny bit. And yeah, football, it's just from friends. That's where I've learned to love football. But just sports in general, I've learned to love through playing them at school, because that's how I found lots of my friends, through that sport, through those sports. So yeah, school is why I love playing sports, and the reason I love watching sports is probably because of my dad. Keep or sell at Manchester United. Now this question was asked quite a while back, and someone did ask me, it's like who I would move around at Manchester United or something along those lines, and I did do a video before on that, but I thought I'd still end up giving them that answer of who would I keep and who would I definitely sell at Manchester United. When it comes to keep, definitely I would try to keep the likes of David De Gea, even though lots of people want to get him out. I'm just going to name one keep and one sell. One keep is David De Gea. Even though it seems like he's always ready to go, I would really keep David De Gea. Sell, I mean, Jesse Lingard has to be the biggest sell, not contributing to the team, and he is only there because he's a Manchester United boy.
Ooh, you're hard showing off.
What song gets me excited for football? Okay, well, there's different kinds of songs, of course, when it comes to, obviously I don't think I can really play them on YouTube because otherwise I could get copyright strike, but when it comes to like FIFA, it's Dream. I used to play it in all of my old videos. I mean, I say old videos, I've only done this for a full year. But yeah, it used to be Dream. I would say Champions League, but well, you know, so I'm not going to say the Europa League anthem now just because Manchester United got dropped. I think it really depends. There's no one specific song that gets me hyped up for football. Yeah, once again, it's just one of those things where it depends on the game itself. Like if they play Thunderstruck in some of the If they play Thunderstruck in an arena before a final by AC/DC, I absolutely love that kind of song. As I said, there's not one specific song, it's many. Or if it's United versus Liverpool, which by the way, they are playing them on Sunday, and I hope United don't get destroyed too much. I love the Never Walk Alone. Even though I'm a United fan, I love listening to it. It's just such a strong anthem and a beautiful atmosphere. Do I play football? No, I do not. I really wish I could, but my school does not provide football, and I know lots of people in our school do play football through clubs and that, but I just don't really find the time to. And I really do, of course, next year, me being out of school, I'd love to find a five-a-side or a club football and just play for fun, just in my spare time. But yeah, otherwise I don't really play football. I used to play football at break at school, just with friends. I used to play defender, but because our school doesn't provide, I play hockey instead, field hockey, which I play defense, which is the closest thing. I mean, it's pretty much the same. It's just football with a stick, is it not? Gay! But yeah, otherwise I'm looking to play football next year, but I do not actually play football at the moment. Number 6, favorite footballer. Okay, now of course there's that whole list of Ronaldo and Messi, which I mean, I won't get into that whole debate. Really, I'm just gonna say out of those two, I do prefer Messi, just because I just love that beautiful kind of skill, where Ronaldo is a different kind of beauty when it comes to football. I'm not going to say one's better than the other, but I will say I do prefer Messi. I'm not saying that he's better, but yeah. Overall, I've always loved players that not necessarily shine the most look, I loved Wayne Rooney. He's probably my favorite Manchester United player of all time. But overall, I would say my favorite player of all time, with no surprises, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, which of course, if you haven't seen, cheeky little plug, I have made a video about the best Zlatan Ibrahimovic goals and jokes that he makes, because you know he's always cocky and he's always like big upping himself. He's always making him sound like the best. But yeah, I have to say Zlatan Ibrahimovic, just because he's so cocky and so confident, and he's able to back that up. It's so rare that we see a player like with that kind of confidence that's able to back it up. The closest thing to that is like a Ronaldo, who's able to do that, but even he's not that cocky where he'll like always talk about himself. But in a game himself, you can see he's very confident with himself. But Zlatan Ibrahimovic, just because he's just able to do it anywhere, and he really is, for me, just the perfect footballer. 7, favorite transfer in the transfer window that just passed. Now, of course, I'm a Manchester United fan. I really want to say Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but so that I'm not biased towards Manchester United transfers, excluding Manchester United transfers, there's been quite a few. Weirdly enough, it has to be Ndombele to Spurs. I don't know what it is. It's just something, when they ask me the question, it's always just the transfer that pops in my mind, just because I feel like he's a player that he could have literally gone anywhere. I'm happy Spurs got him, but I just find him such a good footballer, and I found it the perfect transfer to break Spurs' like no buying thing, where they didn't buy anyone for like 2 transfer windows, and then they end up buying a strong player like him. I just find him like a seriously complete player, and he's so young, and there's just something about that transfer that I love. Number 8, a realistic goal for Manchester United this season, and where do I think they'll finish? Look, that's going to be a very tough one. Realistically, they above relegation sounds pretty good to me. But look, if they can fight for 6, I would love it. If they can just get to 6, as I said, that's so sad, because if you don't know, I also made a Premier League prediction at the beginning of the season. I'll put that down in the description below. But yeah, realistically, I think 8th. Look, that makes me sick to my stomach. But if they can get to like 8th, and look, worst case scenario, they do better than that, and then it's a win-win or a lose-lose situation there. Yeah, but I have to say, I have to go for 8th. I think that's a realistic goal for Manchester United, and I think they can finish in 8th if they really do push hard. And what app do I use to edit my videos? Now, of course, if you do not see, it's up one of those corners. I don't know which one. KineMaster, I've been using it ever since I started YouTube. Now, of course, if you don't know, I make absolutely all my videos, everything about my videos on my phone, from the thumbnails to just the music on the videos to the editing itself. I do absolutely everything on my phone, which is proof to you guys that if you guys want to get into YouTube, you don't have to have all the fancy equipment. So of course, I do have a bunch of stuff out. It's in the other room. I won't show you right now, because then I have to take my tripod and whatever. But yeah, it's not limited to what you have. You guys can just create by just having yourselves. You guys can just have a phone, just download KindMaster. It's a free app, of course. That's why I have that watermark, that KindMaster watermark at the top. But yeah, it really, you only limit yourself. The only person limiting you is you. You guys can make videos with just a phone. Number 10, because I'm from South Africa, would I make any videos on South Africa? Yeah, I don't know. It depends on what kind of videos you want or what you're talking about. Like, would I just make factual videos about South Africa? Maybe not necessarily, but just in case, I was at my dad in Cape Town, which is the opposite side of the country pretty much, which you guys can check. It's that beautiful kind of nature with all the farms and all like the wine. It's like, I don't know, it's just really beautiful. It's beautiful green, and of course you get the cities. I don't have any footage of the cities on my phone, but yeah, just in general, that's South Africa. That's a bit of a view of South Africa. There's lots about it. When it comes to, will I make actual videos of South Africa? Probably not. It depends. If I do go travel a bit more, I know this is an odd answer to the question. If I travel a bit more, I might record more of South Africa, because there are some parts that are really just visually amazing about it. But otherwise, stuff about South Africa, well, I'm currently making this video now because I'm in bar studying, of course. I have nothing better to do because we are experiencing load shedding, which is basically our power's out for a few hours. So yeah, that's something about South Africa. Our power goes out and it makes us want to cry. But guys, yeah, once again, thank you so much for being with me on this 1-year journey on YouTube. Of course, put questions down in the comment section below if you want me to answer more. But this has been Finn. Of course, if you are new, please do subscribe. Join this family, join this community. This has been Finn, FYNN. Thank you for this year. Cheers. Love all of you.